Hello and welcome to our 5-minute class where we're going to look at mermaid pose and king pigeon pose. So for today's practice you may need a strap, so make sure that you go and get that handy now. If you don't have a strap, you can always use a normal belt or a dressing gown tie. Okay, so we're going to start today at the top of our mat. So come to Tadasana pose, feet hips distance apart, draw the shoulders back, and let's do a sun salutation just to warm up the body. So let's inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the fingertips, take both feet back to plank. Now if this is your first sun salutation of the day, maybe you want to lower the knees, but take your vinyasa. So flow through either chaturanga, cobra or up dog. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Maybe paddle out the legs slightly. And then bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Right leg lifts up high behind. Then bring the right foot up in between the hands, lower the left knee. So you've come into your low lunge. Lengthen through the spine, sink the hips low. Now planting the right hand on the inside of the right foot, you're going to reach behind, see if you can grab that left foot. And then try to face forward, so make sure that your hips aren't opening to the side. Keep them facing forward and pull your left leg up. And if you want, you can always use a pillow under your left knee here. And a block for your hand if you feel like you need to come up higher. You can even rest on your leg. And then releasing the left leg, take the right knee back to meet the left leg steps forward, same thing on this side. So just sink into your lunge to start with, lengthen through the spine, bring the left hand on the inside of your left leg, bend up the right knee, see if you can grab that foot, and if you can't, you can always just kind of hover your leg there, and hold here. Try to make sure that both your hips are facing the front of the mat, and breathe. And releasing that right leg down. Bring the left knee back to meet the right. Now keeping your hips above your knees, take your hands out nice and long. Just sink your chest down to the ground. Look towards your thumbs, so you're really sinking your chest down. Nice little shoulder stretch here. Try to keep the elbows off of the ground. And then leaving your hands where they are, lift your chest up and just come down onto your stomach. Okay, so from your stomach here, we're going to bring the right hand across the chest. So now your right hand is underneath your left shoulder. Bend the left knee up, grab hold of the left foot, try and wiggle your hand down, and you're trying to just bring a nice stretch on the quad muscle here. So you're bringing your left heel as close to your bum as you can. And then again, just make sure you're facing forward. Make sure that left hip isn't lifting up. And then release that. Left hand comes across, right knee bends up, grab that right leg, wiggle that hand down. Set yourself up, make sure everything's facing towards the top of the mat. Now obviously for these poses, a bigger warm-up would be very beneficial, but if you do only have 5 minutes, then this is great. Release that right leg. Bring the hands next to the chest, push up onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up high behind, and then place your right knee behind the right wrist. Let's come into pigeon pose. So your right ankle is now under your left hip. Maybe you shuffle that back leg back slightly. And here we have our pigeon pose. So this is our setup for our mermaid and our king pigeon pose. So if we go to our mermaid pose first, so you're going to come down onto your right hip. So that means you're going to be slightly facing the left side now. Bend up that left leg. Now you're going to grab the left foot and see if you can get the left foot in your left arm crease, your elbow crease. And this is your mermaid pose. Now what you can do, you can stay here like this, you can bring this left hand up, see if you can reach over, and what most people do is they would grab their fingers with the right hand over your head like this. So you've got a little bit of contraction here on the side, and you're really lengthening out the other side. So this is your mermaid pose. Now your king pigeon pose is slightly different. So let's just come down, release that, come back into your pigeon, and this is where you may need the strap. So I'm going to just grab my strap because I definitely need that. So from your pigeon pose, you want to bend up your left leg, hook something around it. So remember, if you have just a belt or dressing gown tie, you can do that. Your hips are going to be staying to the front of the mat, so make sure your hips are facing the front. Now find some balance. If you need to put a block underneath your bum cheek, then you can do that. You're going to reach up and then walk your hands down your strap and hold here, and this is your king pigeon pose. Now eventually the aim is to grab hold of your foot with your hands and just release that. Okay, so you can stay in that pose as long as you would like, but as this is a quick video, I'm going to quickly just do the same on the other side. So from your pigeon, just tuck your toes of your left foot, come back to downward facing dog. Other side, left foot goes up, pigeon, left knee behind the left wrist, come into your pigeon. So again, you just go, I'm just going to turn around so that you can see this. You're going to rock onto your left hip, bend up that right leg, and you might notice that one side you can get into the pose a lot easier than the other. It's completely normal. Get it into the crease of your elbow, right arm comes up, left hand comes over. This is your mermaid pose, and remember, you don't have to touch hands, you can just stay here, that's absolutely fine. Releasing that one, coming back into your pigeon, bend up the right leg, hook something around the right foot, and then again, make sure those hips are facing the short side of your mat. Reach your hands up, walk your hands down, and this is where you would stay. And again, you can hold this for as long as you want, but you want to make sure that you're kind of comfortable. A little bit of discomfort is good because that's how you're going to improve. But if it is painful at any point, then come out and make sure you can breathe, because if you can't breathe in these poses, then your body's going to go into fight or flight and it's not going to help to lengthen the muscles. So make sure that you can focus on it. And I'm going to leave that there today because I wanted this video to be nice and quick, but please make sure that you do some cooling down. So maybe just sit in child's pose or shavasana for a couple minutes. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.